Hey, I often get asked, hey Neil, is it worth it to become an Ontraport expert? Or because I'm old school, I still say certified consultant. Today on Email Splat TV, we're going to talk about the pros and cons of being an Ontraport certified expert. Well, I've been an Ontraport certified expert, or certified consultant, as I like to say, because I've been around so long, since 2014. And I believe that was the second class they did of certified consultants. So I've been around a long time in Ontraport land. I've seen a lot of experts come and go, and I constantly get asked by people who do what I do for a living, or just who are users of Ontraport, is, hey, should I get certified? Should I become an expert? And so today I want to kind of break down the pros and cons of that and what I think you should think about before you invest in becoming an expert with Ontraport. Because being an Ontraport expert is a little pricey. It's $2,000 to get certified, and then you have to pay $500 per year and take a test every year to keep your certification. So it's a big investment, and pre-pandemic, pre-COVID, Ontraport made you fly out to Santa Barbara and spend 3-4 days, what is it, 3-4-5 days in Santa Barbara, which is not an inexpensive place to stay or even get to. They made you fly out there for the training. Now with COVID, they did a class remotely. They might do another one, but I think as soon as COVID is over and they can get people back to Santa Barbara, they're going to force you to come back there. And I think that's a good thing. I shouldn't say force, but they want to meet you. They want to get to know you in person. And hey, for my money, going out there and meeting all the people behind the scenes at Ontraport was way more important to me than learning the tool. And that's been the bigger success. And I think that's going to be a big theme in this video today, is the relationships you have and you make and you work are far more important than the little title you can put under your name as certified expert. I think it's all the relationships you make at Ontraport that are really going to make the difference for you, especially if you want a career like mine or you already have a career like mine where you're helping people with email automation and business automation. Well, let's start out with the perks. What do you get as an Ontraport expert that the average user doesn't get? And there are a few things that come to mind for me that I think are really important. The first thing I get is a private Facebook group and a Slack channel just for experts and high-level customers, big users of Ontraport, where we can ask questions of each other, like best practices. Hey, what do you do when you have a customer like this? Or hey, have you seen this happen before and what should I do? Things that are beyond the average user group for Ontraport. We get into a little bit of business in there, but a lot of just more in-depth, how do I do this? And right now, Ontraport has both a Facebook group and a Slack channel. The Slack channel is fairly new. It's only been around for about 6 months, maybe started in the middle of 2020. Before that, it was all in a Facebook group. And now we have both. I really hope Ontraport picks one horse or the other because it's kind of a pain to monitor both. But you can jump into either channel that is comfortable for you and ask questions. All right, here's one I really like a lot and is worth my $500 a year, probably by itself, and that is comped user seats. As a certified expert with Ontraport, I can just email in and say, hey, I just signed up a new customer, or hey, so-and-so just hired me to help them with their Ontraport account, and I set up a user seat in their account, please comp it. So I get free user seats for myself, so that my customers aren't paying for me to be on their Ontraport account. And I just like that because it makes it easier to see who's responsible for what, what happened, who changed this, why did they change it, because you can see all that in the automation log by user. And I just like having my own login. I don't have to deal with IP issues. If I get locked out, I can get myself back in. And of course, if the customer doesn't want me in there anymore, they can just delete my user seat. So they don't have to share their passwords. Just way better for everyone. Free user seats for experts. The next one I get is I get to be an affiliate for Ontraport, right? I get to refer Ontraport, I get to make money I get commissions because I sold Ontraport. Now, just very recently, like the beginning of 2021, Ontraport did away with all these random people who were affiliates for them. So now they only let you be an affiliate if you have an account or if you're certified. Those are really the only two groups of people that are allowed to be an affiliate for Ontraport anymore. You can't just be somebody who's promoting it and not using it. They want people using the platform to actually be promoting the platform. And I can see that. It makes a lot of sense to me. Of course, I got to stay, so I'm a little biased. But yeah, that's a great perk now too as well. So if you want to make part of your business selling Ontraport accounts, turning people on to Ontraport that didn't know it existed, like I do with this YouTube channel, hey, that's a great way to make some extra money. As a certified expert, I get a monthly call every month with Ontraport. And that's where we get on. The platform has changed over time, but right now we're doing it through Zoom. So every month we get on Zoom with Landon or somebody else on the team there, Stephanie. Somebody will get on there and either teach us something that month about how to do something inside of Ontraport, or the big one is they show us, hey, here's what's coming up next. And it might be some change structure-wise inside of Ontraport, the organization, not the platform, but like, hey, so-and-so's moving to this department, or this is happening, we're adding this department of people to help out, or whatever it might be there, as well as, hey, there's a new feature coming out next month, next year. We get to see things in development as they're happening. So just recently I was on a call where Landon got on and showed us some cool stuff that's coming out in 4 or 6 weeks. And that's really useful to me because now when a customer says to me, hey, I'm thinking about doing this, I can say, hey, wait, hold on, hold out 3-4 weeks and you're gonna get that. And we don't have to spend extra money or do some workaround to try to make that happen because it's coming. Just hold out. So I get that little inside scoop that I can pass on to my customers, and it's really good for them. All right, this one's probably my favorite of the bunch, and that's Tier 2 support. I get a special email address where I can email in to support, and I skip frontline support. So I kind of have my own dedicated support person or people. There's a small team that work on these cert requests. So I get to kind of bypass the front line, go right to somebody else. But even more importantly is I have a relationship with them. We talk to each other a lot with support. So it's not just I'm randomly getting paired up with somebody in support who doesn't know me and I don't know them. So this is a better, again, here's that relationship thing I talked about. A lot of what we get as a cert is relationships and access. And that's why I really like it. So Tier 2 support, pretty cool. It only works for email. If I chat in, I'm still frontline support. So if you have some emergency thing and you're chatting in, you're going to go through support just like any other user would. But if you have something that's not as time sensitive and you can send in an email, I love Tier 2 support. I very rarely use anything else. All right, here's one that everybody thinks is so important when they become a certified consultant is I'm going to get listed on the website and woo, all the money's going to come rolling in, and that is not how it works. Yes, you get listed on the website. Yes, you can promote yourself on the website, but the website isn't really where most of the customers come from. So someone like myself, yes, I get leads from Ontraport's website and I appreciate them and I love them, but it is not where I get the most lead and certainly not where I get the best leads. It's a great perk. Yes, I can put myself there and I love that, but it is not the be all end all. That is not, if I had to rank these, that's probably one of the lower things I would put on the list for being a certified expert. All right, as a certified expert, I get permission to use OP's branding and banners and graphics and logos. So I can put the certified badge on my own website. I can talk about Ontraport on my own website, although I'm still bound by some rules. It's obviously their name, their product. I can't go out and try to pretend I am Ontraport or that I even represent Ontraport, but it does allow me to use some of their marketing to support my business. All right, the last one I'm going to talk about is I get referrals as an Ontraport expert, and that's different than the web listing. Yeah, The web listing, people can just go on there any time of day and find me, but the referrals come from the Ontraport sales team, the Ontraport support team. They have kind of a short go-to list that they use when they're talking to customers or potential customers and say, hey, you have this issue, you should call Neil. Hey, you got this issue, you should call Sam, or whoever it is, or Andrew, or Ben. All these people in the Ontraport expert community, they've got a short list that they use and send out. And that is probably, one of the best perks of being a certified consultant. Now, I want to just expand on this last perk just a minute, because when I came into Ontraport, when I got certified, I thought, this was going to be the answer, that I was just going to turn on the floodgate for customers, right? Because I was an expert, I was going to be on the website, they were going to be referring me, I was going to get leads galore, hella frickin' Luya, it was going to be awesome. And that did not happen. As a matter of fact, when I first got certified, I think it was months before I got a single referral. And that first year, I could probably hold them all in one hand. This is going to come back to that R word again, relationships. It's really all about the relationships you make at Ontraport if you're going to get referrals or not. Now, they're not going to refer you if you're not a certified expert, because that's kind of their vetted group, so you kind of have to get over that hurdle. But that's not where it ends. That's just where it starts. From there, it's up to you to make the relationships with support, with sales, with other experts, to to build the network, to, quite frankly, to earn the referrals, right? I didn't earn any referrals the first year because I didn't know what I was doing. So I had to earn that over time. And now, much better, right? But that was, I worked at that. That was not just, I got certified and that opened the floodgate. So just have that expectation going in that this is not going to instantly turn into referrals for you. So another question I hear around certification is certification versus bootcamp. Which one should I do? And if you're not going to sell your services to other Ontraport users, just do bootcamp. Because really, bootcamp and certification are basically the same thing, other than in certification I have to pass a test to prove I know what I'm doing, and I have to recertify every year to prove I know what I'm doing. So that's a big difference. And then the other thing that you get with certification you don't get with bootcamp is Ontraport kind of teaches you more about marketing strategy, more about running a business. So you literally are in the same class as bootcamp for the first 2 or 3 days, and then bootcamp goes home and you stay for an extra day. And that's really only the training difference. You don't get a deeper dive into Ontraport, the function of Ontraport, than you would get in bootcamp. They're the same class when it comes to learning the platform. The only difference is some strategy and some business acumen that they give you for certification that they don't give you in bootcamp. So if you're just going for your own self to learn, if those perks I talked about don't really matter to you, and as an end user, if that's all you want to be is just a really good end user, those perks probably don't help you a whole lot. I would just stick with bootcamp. Now, as with anything, Ontraport's changing, so hold on, they'll change something. So right now, they're talking about a new training platform that's coming out. So I think Bootcamp is going away and getting replaced with something. Not sure what's going to happen with certification. So these are questions you should ask as all this starts to roll out. Is what's the difference? And maybe they will make Bootcamp and certification very different programs, but in the past they've been the same first 2-3 days, and then certification, you just stay for an extra day, you take a test, and that's really the only difference. You're not learning anything different about the program. Now, the last thing I want to say about it is you do not become an Ontraport expert by getting certified, by becoming a certified expert. That word expert is really confusing. But you will not know the platform 1,000 times better just because you got certified. Knowing the platform is up to you. After I got certified, yes, I learned a lot of things I didn't know before I went, but it's only 3-4 days. It's not like they're going to teach you everything about Ontraport. For those first 5 years, I learned something about Ontraport every single day. I learned something new, and I'm not even exaggerating. Every single day I would learn something new, and I would teach myself something new, and I would study, and I would try stuff, and I would do things to increase my Ontraport knowledge. My goal has always been to know Ontraport better than Ontraport support knows Ontraport. That doesn't happen by going to a 3-day class. So if you think you're going there just to get this massive brain dump and you're going to be a genius when you walk out, yes, you're going to know more. Yes, you're going to know people. You're going to have better ideas, but you are not going to walk out of there knowing everything there is to know about Ontraport. I mean, heck, you can see in the Facebook group sometimes that Ontraport employees learn things about Ontraport they didn't know. So it's super complicated. There's a lot to learn, and you're not going to learn it in a 3-day class. All right, so there you have it. Should you get certified in Ontraport? I don't know. It depends. I've given you a lot of information. I've given you the pros and cons. Hopefully that's enough to help you make a really informed decision about whether or not you should get certified. You're probably an Ontraport user, so hey, check out the description below. You'll find a link to more Ontraport resources, and of course, subscribe to the channel because you want to see my smiling face. My smiling, creepy face. At least once a week with new Ontraport ideas, strategies, tips, tricks, all this good stuff. Put some comments below. I want to hear what you thought about this video. And until next time, see you on Email Splat TV.